Alright, and welcome back to the MGSR Twitch Partner Push with the last race of the day with Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes Extreme with our two finalists of the VE tournament with Tyler2022 and the VE champion himself, BlueMetal. And I am joined by our host, House.
Hello, I'm back.
Alright, this is going to be a doozy of a run. It's going to be fun to watch. And we will get these guys underway shortly. All right, so got our countdown going, and there they go. So, like I said, BlueMetal and Tyler faced off in the VE tournament, which now the stakes are different. We are on Extreme. We're also on console instead of the Dolphin emulator. Not too many differences other than just the obvious with, loads and, graphics and the control scheme, using the native GameCube controller. But on Extreme, it is the highest difficulty. Both, I believe, have opted to do big boss strats, which means you will have to select it on Extreme with Game Over if Discovered turned on, which is important. And radar turned off, which to my understanding, I think you can leave it on, but I think most just turn it off out of preference. But unlike in VE, where you could just troll the guards waiting for the elevator, you just sit and wait for the locker for 2 minutes. Exciting stuff, isn't it, House?
It's always special when you see these things in the docks, just like we had in MGS1. At least there you can do something that helps the run. Here, it's literally just, go on the locker and wait, so...
Any right locker fans. Yeah, I actually just noticed that Tyler went in the right side locker and Blue's in the left side locker. I tend to go in the left one. It doesn't really matter which one it is, but but I guess covering more about the difficulty. I've been running this difficulty probably the most out of the others. I know I was running VE as part of the VE tourney. But also some background on both these guys, at least on their boards for the categories. So BlueMetal has a 5640 in-game time PB, which is behind Wall Guy's time of 5634. Tyler has a 5915, which both runs are about a year old, give or take. And given the emulator, it's probably a 2.5 minute difference. Because again, the Dolphin emulator runs faster, given loads and all that stuff. But now, elevator's done and over with. We're both making our way back up, and I'm actually curious to see who's gonna be wearing a tux in this race. I have a feeling it might be Tyler, knowing him. Because you can actually have Snake wear the tuxedo if you load a New Game ++ file, which is basically a completed save file with both Meryl and Anacon endings saved on it.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yep, he is wearing the tux. All right, good man, Tyler. Nice. So what they're going to do here is they're going to kind of trick the guard into noticing Snake, which will lure them forward, and their field of vision is really obscured when they're going up steps, so they can just run on by them. Next, they're going to grab this stun grenade out of the locker while also, debating the other guard while he's asleep. And what they're going to do with that stun is, just like in the VE tourney, instead of unequipped spamming, they're going to use the stun grenade in its place. What this will do is it'll skip a animation for crawling, which is going to save you a lot of time for the tank hanger, as well as any other section that involves crawling. And also one thing I didn't mention on Extreme is they will not be getting their weapons until the guard rush section. The M9 is in the upper vent in the B1 section of the tank hanger. The SOCOM is also in there, which I anticipate both of these guys will be going for the SOCOM roll, which is a strat that was found during the VE tournament. It's just a very particular setup where you could just pick up the SOCOM a little bit faster than, just rolling through the door normally. Alright, so they're going to be winning by this tank, because again, this crawling was meant to help line yourself up so that these guys will be here by the time you arrive at this elevator. Blue opting to go for a safer maneuver instead of going up through the middle section where Tyler just got in through the elevator. Both will work. Just sometimes I've had this happen where you may roll into that guard a little bit late, and because they're on Game Over, have discovered any alert that they get will automatically result in a Game Over screen for a continue, and they are lengthy. Trust me. But for now, not a whole lot happening, just more crawling in the vent, spamming the stun grenade. You want to, I think from the numbers I remember, I think it was like 6 presses per second, or like there's a certain rate you want to be mashing to kind of be optimal through crawling. Mashing slow will give you some boost, but not enough, but then, I don't know, just whatever helps you get through, honestly. And look, there's the M9. Wait a minute, who put that up there?
Weird position for a weapon.
Yeah, somebody must have left that up there. They knew these guys were showing up today to race.
Yeah, it's got in TTS especially. It's a Metal Gear Solid 2 engine game. So in both games, you can use these unequip and re-equip again tricks to interrupt animations. We do that in 2 also very often. In TTS, we just do it in spaces where we don't see ourselves. We're basically almost entirely in first person for these events, so we can not see what actually changes. But it definitely works. It definitely makes you faster.
Yeah, and like you said, since Twin Snakes is based on the MGS2 game engine as well as the UI layout for inventory management, both will be using the previous menu, just like in the MGS2 VE race we just saw. So I think Blue didn't go for it for the SOCOM role. I wasn't quite sure if Tyler got it. I don't have the audio on. Oh, he did get it. All right, very good.
There we go.
See Blue giving us a nice view of our friend Johnny over there. But basically, what they're going to be doing throughout this fight, other than just taking out these guards, is they're going to be using up ammo deliberately. What this is going to be doing throughout the setup is they're going to be farming magazine clips, which are going to be used for the tank fight later once we get there. It's part of a exploit that you could do to gain quick damage on the gunners. But for now, it's just going to be standing at the door with the M9, shrinking the guards as soon as they appear. So as you can see on BlueMetal's screen, he spent all of his rounds with the SOCOM as soon as he had them. It's just part of the magazine farming. Alright, so just a few more guards left.
And I believe both of these runners want to go for the big boss rank, so no deaths from them should be done. But thankfully we have Meryl. Whatever she does doesn't impact us.
Blue, I'm gonna let that one go. I saw what he did, but the other thing he was doing as well was he used his SOCOM to kind of stagger both of the last 2 genome guards in there. It's gonna help position them for Meryl to get a quick burst in. If you're lucky, she'll just kill them outright. Because it is faster to kill them than it is to trank them. They spawn out faster, but again, like House was mentioning, since they're attempting for big boss strats, you can't actually kill anybody. So now the next section is the armory. Gonna get some C4, blow up some walls, and fight a very, I guess, difficult boss. I mean, I'm always nervous whenever I get here myself. I keep thinking like, man, I'm on good PB pace. I don't know how I'm gonna handle Ocelot. It's very nightmarish.
Very stressful.
Yeah, and ooh, really nice roll with that C4. So what you're gonna do for Ocelot is just stand still, aim with your M9, aim it at his head, dodge a shot, aim at his head again, and yep, that's the Ocelot fight.
Pretty much the same as on VE in the end. Just 3 headshots and you're good to go.
Yeah, the devs never anticipated what would happen if you just stay put and just aim in first person. Ocelot is scripted to kind of run opposite, like as you're running around the room, but if you stay put, Ocelot won't really move either. Maybe just occasional like ducking off to the side like after you hit him the first time, but both made it through just fine, no big issues. Then gotta call Meryl. Because unlike the original MGS1, where we could do the laser skip, doing the vent glitch out of bounds, we do have to call her. I think it's by preference if they want to call Meryl as soon as the fight's over. I know some tend to call her like after you leave the room. Doesn't really matter. Just gotta call her before you go up the elevator. I wasn't gonna say it, but Tyler heard he did. Yeah, we have seen an incident where we were just itching to go and we forgot to call her. It happens.
Especially if you're so used to the original and know, like, yeah, do Spank glitch, and then you come to TTS, it's like, oh wait, hang on.
Yeah, I mean, unless if somebody finds a way to do it, but yeah, I can see how that could happen. So coming up is going to be a very important laser roll here. So you want to answer the codec, not on the first frame, but like as soon as the screen starts to load in. And then you're going to want to roll to the first two lasers, which Blue just did. Going to shoot... Oh, you missed that second one.
Yeah,
okay.
I missed the sensor.
Yeah, you can actually shoot the, I guess, first two, like, after you roll, and then skip the last one, if you're really fast enough, but... Oh, Tyler missed the second one, too. Man, something about that sensor. Yeah, if you're quick enough, you could just shoot the first two and then just roll. The last laser moves really slow, but nobody wants to risk getting caught by the lasers, which... since they're on Game Over Discovered, it'll just give them a continue screen. They don't have to, just wait to die to start over. So now the tank fight. So both are going to be running along the left side. Wait for the tank to pull up a little bit. Throw the first stun. Okay, Blue's got his. Gonna throw another one. And every time you see that little cutscene where it zooms in on the hatch, that's what you want to see. Tyler getting his in. And then what you're going to see Blue is throw that magazine clip that I was talking about where they were farming it. The game doesn't really care what object goes in the hatch as long as it goes in as if it was a grenade. And what will happen is if a magazine goes in like you landed a stun and then fire an M9 round to the head, it will do full damage as if a stun was placed in there. It's really convenient, but also very difficult to get. Because as you can see, both are in a very specific area where they don't want to be moving around to allow the tank to move. Ooh, Blue having a little bit of trouble trying to get his to wrap up, so he's gonna grab some more stuns. Tyler also trying to get his in and miss his shot. Yeah, see, what can happen is you'll go for your shot and miss, and it'll get the gunner to duck down a little bit. All right, so both on the last hit, and then Blue's just gonna go for a. Okay, he's gonna go for a long-range headshot. That's fine. Tyler, I think he's just gonna opt for a, just minor. And
oh my lord!
Oh, Tyler, what are you doing? Oh my god, man! Wow, that was a really nice, stun while the tank was drifted forward. But when it was running over, it was like, good lord. It's like he was really.
Version. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really playing it close there. Yeah, whenever I do that tank fight and Tyler's watching, he does refer to as, doing some NBA Jam with the tank.
Once again, because of Extreme and how far the guards can see, we manipulate them a little bit so they get distracted from their usual path. And that makes it actually possible for us to just walk through here. We cannot use the M9, unfortunately. This is only an VE thing.
Yeah, so you're just going to be, using the... either chaffs or magazines to clip yourself through the main door. It's the same thing in VE. But for now, it's just going to be collecting the Kita as well as M9 ammo should it be needed. It's mainly dependent on how poorly the tank fight went in terms of ammo. Not too big of a deal. It's fairly convenient. If you need it, it's right there. So now is going to be the Nikita section. Really not that much different from VE, except there are gun cam turrets placed throughout the hallways in here, so you do have to be careful not to take too long when you're making your turns. The gun cams can shoot the missile out, but as long as you get your turns quick enough, you can just, zip on through. Okay, Blue got his. Tyler just right behind him, and then, of course, using the exclusive, right analog camera while using the missile. It's I actually never knew it was a thing until the VE tourney. Actually, when you're in the missile and you can use the right analog to kind of like change the camera while it's in flight. It's really cool.
Yep. Just play around a little bit while you're waiting anyway.
All right, so with the ninja fight, it's pretty identical to what we saw throughout the VE tourney. It's just going to be a series of punch, punch, kick, kick with the Nikita. Having Nikita equipped during the kick will do more damage. And also likewise, whenever you do a roll Nikita like Blue just did. And then after that, they're going to be doing a SOCOM shot, which is going to get Ninja to deflect it, which is meant to continue this phase looping that they're in. You want to keep him in phase 1 for as long as possible and as efficiently as possible. So you'll be noticing they're doing a series of either shoot, punch, punch, or shoot, punch, roll with Nikita. And then once they get the health low enough, they're just going to do another series of punches to get him into phase 2. You could get him down to 0 and keep him in phase 1 almost forever until you run out of ammo, but you do want to get him to phase 2 to actually win this fight. And as you can see, because Tyler's on Tuxedo, you get a different appearance for the ninja.
I was just gonna say, thanks for all the explanation, but what's really cool is the Spider-Man ninja.
Yep, just your friendly neighborhood ninja. You know, wait a minute. I think I'm crossing my references here.
Never
oh,
crossed
look,
the
there's a
street.
GameCube in the lab.
Hey!
Yeah, just like in the original game, there's a PS1 on the table, but instead they put a GameCube with the like main screen in there. You know, it's like, you know, why do they have to fight these out? I mean, they could just go to the table, boot up some Smash Brothers. They could settle their differences that way, right?
Yeah. I mean, that would be at least very interesting to see what the ninja can do there. Cyber enhancements and all. I mean, I want to see that.
Yeah. But for now, it's just going to be more cutscenes to skip. And I'm curious if either one of these guys are going to go for the 1-up that's on one of the desks over there. It's an Easter egg left behind by Nintendo. It does absolutely nothing but make you feel like you're going to... Oh, yes, Blue went for it. Yay!
Nice. The RNG minute that is not.
I don't know. Some people feel like you get better RNG minute throughout the rest of the game. Some people just like the way it sounds like I do. And, oh, Tyler's going for it too. Yes!
Let's go.
Oh, wait, he shot the Yoshi. No, Tyler, you missed a 1-up. Go back. All right, I'll let that one go. Yeah, but it's just one of the things I actually enjoy about running Twin Snakes is just these little things that are throughout the game. Other than just mainly, you know, control optimizations, familiarity with MGS2 if you've played it. But one thing you do have to be very careful of is elevator management. It's very easy to get the two confused where you're used to going, you know, up everywhere. You do have to make sure you're going up and down when you need to.
Blue trying to damage Mary again here, just as she's getting into the bathroom. He's a naughty boy today.
I mean, maybe he was trying to, I don't know, push her in a little bit faster, or just possibly memeing.
Well, we'll also see from Tyler now, because he's on the Tuxedo version. Not only is the ninja different, but also Meryl has Snake's suit now. Well, okay, I guess that works.
Yeah, maybe Snake was in a hurry, so he just grabbed the first thing out of his closet and just put on the tux today, and then Meryl just figured, hey, if you're not using it. So
she's not stealing just hoodies, but also entire sneaking suits.
Yeah, well, I mean, Snake still has the headband, so I mean, he's good with that one.
I think that was something.
Whoa, that was really risky what Blue was doing there with that missile. You don't want to kill Meryl here. Yeah, I don't know. I figured he was just messing around, but you know, this is where I think we're gonna really see some separation depending on how this fight will go. It's very important to get these shots to happen just right. So I imagine both are gonna go for the couch setup, where you're gonna get Snake to kneel down on the further end of the couch, aim at his leg as soon as he appears, and then go right to the door, which is gonna get him to spawn back in the middle of the desk. Blue missing his follow-up. Not the end of the world, but just going to be losing a little bit of time. And then he wants to get every other shot in his right leg. Tyler also doing the same thing. You want to do a punch to stop Mantis from teleporting around the room. Okay, he did get his follow-up shot, but it was in the other leg, so it's not going to
Small
do as
damage.
much. Yeah, so he's going to have to correct it. Because you want to get the right amount of stamina damage where you get a phase skip, so when Meryl goes up the first time, she's just going to collapse right afterwards, like you just saw on Tyler's screen. If your damage isn't right, you'll have to either trank Meryl or deal damage. Sometimes you can just even, melee her with the Nikita just to end it quickly. Okay, nice follow-up by Blue.
And you can definitely tell if you just know very easy and you go for these first-person shots on Mantis, you can take forever. It's like fine, you gives you time, but in extreme, you barely have any time to go into first person and then shoot Mantis in the leg.
Yeah, you're barely given enough time to aim with the thing, so you have to be very careful how you time your shots, because if you shoot like while I guess Mantis is like taking your camera control, the shot will miss even if your crosshairs are right on it. So you kind of just have to like time it with, I don't know, each shot. It's sort of hard to explain, but like, on VE, like you said, you have a lot of time before he takes over. But now the infamous caves. Ooh. All right, so
What we saw earlier today was on the PC version, basically always just go out of bounds. None of that here in TTS. We do this the legit way.
Yeah, so it's just going to be either tranking or, not really killing the doggos, but just maybe discouraging them from attacking with the SOCOM. And then, unlike the PC version where you could do that out of bounds to skip this cutscene, you could just do a double tap with the SOCOM, roll through Meryl into the door. You could do a single shot, but the timing is really tight. It's just enough to be able to get through without Meryl saying, "What's wrong, Snake? I thought you were good with dogs." There's also a funny meme when it comes to that section, which I'm sure you've heard about, House, which is the Nick slap.
That was amazing. I saw that live.
Yeah, so Nick was doing that sequence where you're trying to, shoot and roll through Meryl, except he missed his roll just by a smidge. Got the cutscene where Meryl was gonna, say, "What are you doing?" and then smack you. Except when, when he got slapped, it actually pushed him into the door and it still loaded into the next room. It was really hilarious.
It could have been much worse, could have lost much more time, but I guess he was a little bit lucky in this misfortune and then basically got just pushed into the load zone that way.
I mean, maybe Meryl knew what he was trying to do. It's like, "What are you doing? Here, let me help you."
Yeah, let me... Get out of here. Here's the biggest change also from MGS in terms of routing for the speedrun. We don't need to go all the way back to the first building to grab the PSG, but instead we grab the PSG-T here. Way less backtracking.
Yeah, that's an ongoing theme we'll see throughout the rest of this run is, you don't have to go through all this tedious backtracking. It's you could just grab the PSG-1T. It'll still get the job done, and it also incentivizes, especially if you're going for big boss strats. And we'll also see the same thing with the PAL keys later in the game when we reach Disc 2. So again, just going to be running back. And also they grabbed a pack of patazamines. Even though on VE, as we've seen, you gain steady aim regardless of what stance you're in. Instead, in Extreme, you will get shaky aim. But just popping a patazamine or two will be more than enough to get through all these sections that they will need to get through with Sniper 1 and 2 and with Vulcan Raven later once we get there. Okay, BlueMetal with Sniper Wolf. Okay, good spawn. Down and to the right.
Bad.
Okay, so he's just going to play it safe. He's not going to try to go for these moving headshots. Okay, he's got another one. Go to the left. Got another. Got another.
Good.
Tyler getting really bad RNG at the start. She was behind the post in the middle. But thankfully she did get out pretty quick. Ooh, Tyler is going for the moving headshots. Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, that shot missed.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's part of the risk with going for the moving headshots is if she kind of snaps to cover when you're not ready, it can kind of, you know, she'll squeeze off a shot before you can
Oh, yeah.
readjust, and but
Yeah.
she's still behind the filler.
You also
Man.
missed by like a pixel. That was so unfortunate. There you go.
Yeah, the damage when it's not a headshot is, I mean, it's not bad, but it just does feel like a wasted shot when it's not a headshot. Oh
Dying
man, dude,
again.
she's
Oh man.
still behind this pillar. Man,
So
Tyler's
annoying.
really getting handed bad RNG here. But no need to worry,
There
because
you go.
he got her.
I got it. Wonderful. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
Blue's now getting ready here. His part of the torture is already over. He's not going for the Meryl save. I'm disappointed, but okay, fine. Let's move
yeah,
on.
I already had to accept that fact before this race started, so it's fine. As Blue says, you know, it costs 1 Meryl for every good fast run, so you know, I'll just go cry in a corner later.
While we have the time, quick shout out to you. You actually had a Meryl run on Extreme this week, a sub-hour, I think, if that's correct.
Yeah, I was going for a extreme tuxedo sub 1 hour challenge with the Meryl ending, and after many attempts, I finally got it to happen with a 59-52 with the big boss rank.
Nice.
You know, which again, they're playing on console, but you know, I was doing this on emulator, but it was it was something. Like I always knew it was realistic, but it was just so hard just to get it to happen because, like we just saw, I mean, one got a really good sniper one, and the other got handed terrible RNG, and you could just imagine what these attempts are like just on any other given day. Um, but for now, we're just gonna enjoy some quality bonding time with Johnny as he just politely tells us to shut up in there, will ya? Or hey.
You have to say, I like the energy of the original more of these voice lines, but somehow the TTS version has more style, you know? It's just like, come on, man, just be quiet.
Well, to be fair, Akuma, I mean, you know, House brought it up, but you know, I'll just, yeah. I don't know. I was gonna say something dumb, but we'll just keep it focused on what these guys are up to. Man, Blue is doing something all right. I think he did this during the VE tourney where he's like spazzing out with Snake's movement.
There's no
Meanwhile,
reuse for
Tyler
that.
is.
You just have to wait. Sorry, please.
Oh no, I was just gonna say while Blue is spazzing with Snake, Tyler's just showing off his incredible mashing speed. Okay, so this is where
The
things
big
will get
moment.
interesting. So there are several different ways you can escape using the ketchup bottle. We have a standard, I guess, you know, prison bonk roll where you just bonk into Johnny a few times, roll to the item box in the background. You can go for a roll flip, leave the room, and then re-enter, grab the item box afterwards. And then there's a hard, like, YOLO prison roll, which I believe Airlian is one of the only few that actually goes for it. It's where
There we
you roll
go.
into Johnny as the door opens, and Blue got the roll. Very nice. Also, since they opted to submit, they don't have to worry about the time bomb in their inventory.
Indeed. Full explanation basically is that you play 2 cutscenes at the same time. It works both in MGS2 and in the Twin Snakes. Again, same engine at the end of the day. And for TTS, it's super useful to have that happen. You have, you know, it's a little bit tight window, but if you set it up correctly, you just roll into the box, and at the same time, the trigger hits for Johnny to go to the bathroom to let you out. But because we are leaving the room before this whole thing is over, and we already have our stuff, the game is confused, and it's like, well, I guess he just didn't leave yet. And that will actually later, in just a few seconds, help us save even more time, because the game thinks we are still in the cell. We're not getting a certain code call at the underground passage again.
Okay, Tyler also going for the prison roll, and he got it.
Nice.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that is really hard to do, by the way. I think it's one of those things where it was said best on something else earlier today, was like, it's easy to learn, but it's hard to master. There's just so many ways to miss that item box roll, but very nicely done, because I know Tyler on and off was having troubles with that throughout the VE tourney. So I was really happy to see that both these guys got it. Because the consequence to missing that roll, should you go for it, is not only are you going to get the cutscene of Johnny doing his thing, but you will get the story flag trigger where you get the codec cutscene in the underground passage when you return to go into Disc 2. And the time loss, depending on, your current run pace, it's I think it's roughly like 20 to 30-second time loss at least. Possibly, maybe a little bit more. It's a run killer if you're trying to go for like PB world record and you miss it. Oh yeah, I was actually just watching what Blue was doing, and there's actually several different ways you can get through that canyon. I tend to hug left. It's a little bit slower, but it's consistent. I think Blue, I thought he was gonna do the canyon dazzle. There's like, I think, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Plywood that came up with a video, or maybe it was Wall Guy. I forget, where they had a video showing like 4 different ways you can get through that canyon on extreme. One of which does involve hugging left, and the other like has this like really like razzle dazzle movement, as Wall Guy was saying. It's always interesting like what people find out for things like that.
Absolutely. And as we are in the race environment, sometimes from a speedrun standpoint, you want to take what's really consistent and works for you with the highest chance. So sometimes it's just not worth it for the risk strat because it's a one shot. You cannot reset.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot on the line when you're on this difficulty, and sometimes you just have to, go for it at times, or just know when to play it safe. And all right, Blue's going on to disc 2, and yes, you actually got to put in the disc. I know the emulator can either do it for you if you're on the dev version. If you're on the 5.0 vanilla version, you just have to manually change it within your change disc. So it's like when people joke about, oh no, did you practice your change disc? Well, I mean, it's actually a thing for this one. They're on console now. Can't mess it up.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually really at the halfway point where it's reasonable. These discs are not very big for the GameCube, and funny enough, that makes the game actually work in one half and two halves that are basically in the middle.
Yeah, in the original MGS1, your disc 2 would start going into the blast furnace, so it's starting here with Tower A. So if you like stairs, well, we got you covered. Because until someone finds a way to replicate something similar to the Boba skip, we're just going to be seeing a lot of stairs.
Yep, so that will be the door here. Usually frozen in MGS1, we glitched through that earlier. And in TTS, we still have to continue. We have to deal with all these guards going up.
Yeah, so like throughout the VE tourney, guards go down in one shot with the M9, doesn't matter where you hit them, so they're just going to be, just going to be using like center of mass like target locking along with stuns. You may have noticed in floor 9, where that door was, Blue threw his stun across the midsection. If you get a right throw, you can actually get either to knock them out or just get them like dazed, where they're kind of like rubbing their eyes, because you want to minimize the amount of damage you take. Not only do you slow down every time you get hit, but your health is dangerously low if you take too many hits trying to get up to the very top. Ooh, really nice stun at the end there. So Blue is going to wrap up his Tower A stairs. Tyler just getting through his floor 9, so Blue's getting a fairly decent lead ahead of Tyler right now, but there's still plenty of game left to go. Because like I said, both these guys were, I guess, somewhat on each other's heels, but Sniper 1 RNG definitely affected Tyler's run more than Blue's Sniper 1, but we still have Sniper 2, which is terribly infamous for RNG. I mean, if you thought Sniper 1 was bad, Sniper 2 could be just as mean. But either way, Tyler going to equip the ration. His health is getting low, so he's going to try to play it safe. The fun fact about Big Boss and Twin Snakes is you're allowed to use up to 1 ration. So it's actually a little bit more friendly when it comes to healing items, while there's other games you can't use any. And usually that 1 ration by design is the one that Otacon gives you, since rations are fairly rare to be found throughout the game. They either be dropped by guards or usually by the 3 on this bridge section coming up for BlueMetal, who's attempting to do the girder glitch, and he got it.
There we go.
Nice. And yeah, like Wall Guy was saying, if you find that skip, there's some I think there's some bounty money in there. Okay, so Blue is having a little bit of a menuing hiccup there, so he's gonna get the PSG-1T, snipe the 3 guards. The VE turning, you would often see people actually move forward, shoot them with the Solcom. If a guard goes down, it causes the other 2 to kind of like, you know, fall back a bit, allowing you to move forward. Can't really do that if you're going for big boss strats. Very nicely
Gotta
done
put them
by
to
Blue.
sleep.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe they needed a break, you know? Just put them in nap time.
Exactly. The biggest gripe I still have with TTS versus the original, the stinger is the wrong order. You have to go down first and then up. It's not a direct line. Come on, man. Change it. But I guess
I really don't know why they changed it. It's it makes no sense to me. And there's even more to say about the stinger.
Tyler
No,
having some issues here. Come on.
Okay, there he goes. Yeah, I was having a little bit of a trouble trying to... what you're trying to do is get Snake to land in the girder, those steel beams going in a diagonal. You're trying to land on it, and when you either collide with it, or if you, like, try to, you know, post up against it, it'll cause Snake to just kind of, like, zip straight down. The game doesn't know exactly where to place you when you try to lean up against it. But meanwhile, Blue is making his way up through Tower B, using a series of chaffs every 3 floors to disable the gun cam turrets as he's going up, while at the same time he's going to be using the stair gliding tech, which is identical to MGS2, where if you press your fire button as you're about to, you know, go up some stairs, Snake will like skip a step or 2, and since there's a lot of them, it's actually really convenient here. And then as, you know, he's going up each set of stairs, he's rolling up. Again, just very similar to MGS2 mechanics. Oh yeah, about the stinger. Oh man. So not only did, you know, they think it was a good idea to swap the weapon spawn around, but they decide, you know what? Let's make the target locking sensitivity worse. Let's make it so that, you know, the stinger is actually worse than what the MGS2 stinger was. I don't know. Maybe they improved it over time and just figured, yeah, we just got to downgrade it. I don't know.
It's too good. It's too fun.
I don't know, man. They ruined it.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Right.
You think you have to lock on something, and then you literally just shoot in hoping that it locks on afterwards. In both cases,
Blue
it very often does
Blue
not
missing
work.
his first shot. I'm actually surprised it didn't hit.
Spicy. I need to work a little
bit
more.
Here we are. We're talking about how bad the target locking is.
Yeah.
And that happens. An indirect commentator's curse.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost a commentator's curse, but in the end, this is actually more almost intended mechanic that it is bad. It's just confuses us.
I mean, you can fire lock on and unequip the weapon, but it's just the like target locking. I guess tracking is that's what's really the complaint for me, is just how inconsistent it is. But either way, it's just gonna be a series of trading hits with, you know, the Hind D. Trying to push into phase 2. Right, there's the first missile. And you want to try to get at least 2 hits as that missile is in flight. Okay, nicely done. And of course, the other complaint of Twin Snakes, which I think it's unanimous, that, you know, it's just way too dark, so it's hard enough to track the Hind, especially with a stinger that's, you know, what it is.
The cool thing here is, though, on an extreme versus very easy, is the Hind takes barely any time downstairs. It's just, you know, there we go, a very quick dip. That's actually better in extreme because it's just a very brief dip.
Yeah, in VE, the Hind not only flies slower, but it takes forever when it goes down and goes back up on extreme. That's probably the one good thing about it is, you know, he doesn't stay down for really too long. You may get a long sweep here and there, just in terms of his light maneuvering. Okay, Blue just needs 2 more hits, I think. Okay, one more.
You also gotta make sure you don't want to have a ration on. Again, going for big boss, don't use it. So,
well, I mean, you know, you can't have a ration for this, because by design for me, if a ration were to be used, it would either be for this, Raven should the fight go badly, or most likely Rex. So you do want to preserve that ration if you can, but if, you know, the Hind just does what it does, then, you know, it's not the end of the world. It just makes your Rex boss fight a little bit more passive, I think, and damage taken. Yes, I approve of Akuma's Hind description. Even on extreme, I dislike it. All right,
There we
so
go.
Blue
Tyler
making
getting
his way
close to his
down.
end as well.
Yeah, I think Tyler's got, just looking at the health, I think he's got like 4 more hits
3.
left.
Yeah,
Yeah, now
4,
he's got
yes.
3. All right, so while Tyler's wrapping up his fight, Blue will be doing his grenade tosses on the gun cam turrets. It's identical to MGS1, where you just throw the grenade as you're about to go down the set of steps where the gun cam turrets are right in front of you. From when I was trying to learn it, what helped me the most is when the camera transitions, like as it turns when you go down, is the time when you want to cook the nade, and then you release it like as you're about to go down. Which again, it's easy to learn, but it's hard to master. It's very easy to screw up. I mean,
Yeah.
I know how to do it, but I still make mistakes doing this on PB attempts.
Grenades just feel different in these MGS2 engine games, both for 2 and TTS. From personal experience, I like it in the original much more. Feels like straightforward, but it can be done. And both of these people are absolute experts in these games. Have run them at many events, many occasions for years. So we don't need to worry about them.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have been running the game for a long time, and I guess what I like about MGS1's grenade throw is like you can actually see where your grenade's going when you throw it.
Yeah.
But you can't see the floor number if you're used to, looking at the floor numbers and knowing like when to cook the grenade. But yeah, the grenade mechanic is kind of janky in Twin
Oh,
Snakes. Even
there you go.
MGS2, I just dislike it at times. Yeah, should you miss it like Tyler did, you can do a roll like as the gun cams are about to fire. Just minimizes time loss you're gonna get from being hit. And oh no, the elevator was really an ambush. These guys are just waiting in here with stealth camo. But no need to worry, just a trink shot in the head each, and they
Good to go.
contribute their SOCOM ammo to you, saying, "Here, it's too dangerous to go alone into Sniper 2. Take these." It's like, thanks.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry, I can't use it against Wolf.
The big difference here also again is very easy. Very easy, we don't care what health. We literally put down a C4, exploded while we're standing on it, and that's the fight. Here in Extreme, we can just go with the M9, use the auto aim basically to turn us around all the way, and then give 4 quick headshots.
All right, so Tyler's going through his elevator sequence with Blue starting his Sniper 2. So again, this is gonna be another potential, I guess like checkpoint throughout the run. So let's see. He's gonna probably have his Stinger equipped at the start just to kind of see where she is. She's off to the right. Good spawn. Oh, a little iffy on his position.
Away.
You want to be, you want to be on top of the ammo box that's there. Should you run low, it'll auto-populate, but you also don't want to just spam your shots recklessly. On VE, you don't really need the PSG-1T beyond this fight, but on Extreme, you do need ammo for Vulcan Raven later.
Yeah, you'll see the runners actually taking their time to properly shoot, not just spam it down there.
Yeah, Blue had a little bit of a hiccup at the start, but he's getting some good hits in. Oh, he's
there we
more.
go.
Very nice. I think he had 16 rounds left, which is more than enough. It takes a minimum of 9 headshots with the PSG-1T to beat Raven. I have done it with less, although it's not recommended. It would involve some really risky M9 shots with a ration equipped, so you won't die right away. But it can be done. I think I did it with 6, and a couple M9 shots. It's you don't want to be in that position. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Blue is Wolf 2's favorite boss. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just I've lost a lot of runs to this fight. Not just from the execution, but just having her in the worst spot, which is to me the left half of the snowfield. It's her movement going between those trees. It's so trolly. She'll just take her time, stop, move around again, stop, hide. You rather have her either in the middle or in the right half. It just leaves more opportunities to get headshots in.
Currently, Tyler is in the fight, and Wolf is hiding a lot behind trees right now, which makes it, of course, easier when she pops out to get another headshot in here. I think overall he has a higher consistency getting those headshots versus body shots.
Yeah, I think he's still gonna lose on time here just from this idle waiting for Sniper Wolf to either move or peek out, but he did have a better start. than Blue did. And speaking of which,
Sure.
Blue is just showcasing this FAMAS ammo that... Oh, wait, we don't have that gun.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it was like some kind of like assault rifle that was in the armory, which is also in the women's restroom, should you
All the
forget
way
it,
back.
but we don't
Yeah.
really use it because, I don't know. I mean, I was actually disappointed once I found out how useless that gun is throughout this speedrun, because I would use it during the Tower A climb, just gunning these guards down.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go all
Give him
Rambo.
hell.
And then I believe it was Tyler who was the one that told me, it's like, oh yeah, did you know you could just use the M9 there? It just only takes one hit, and it's like, you're kidding me.
What?
It's like, man, why is the FAMAS so bad?
Yeah, you're not really used in these high difficulties where weapons are one shot and doing the job for you. So hearing that the M9 is just a one shot and you're done with them is amazing almost.
Yeah, so getting through the furnace is a little bit different than the PC version. You don't have the luxury of GME out of bounds glitches, so you can just do the next best thing, which is just going into hanging mode, drop down through a shaft to disable the gun cam turrets, and then just run through the I guess like steam room. The vents, the steam that vents out is random. Not really that big of a deal if you get hit. Oh.
I'm sorting out his menus a little bit. There we go.
Let's see. Meanwhile, Blue is getting started with his Raven fight. So what they're doing is they're going to lay on the floor and trade shots with Raven as he's stepping forward each time. And then if they do it just right, which you see on Blue's screen, it's going to make Raven stay in place. It doesn't last forever, but it lasts just long enough to get your headshots in that's required. So nicely done by Blue. Just something about laying on the floor with the PSU-1T, just Raven can't really directly lock onto you. It's, I don't know, it's really, really strange.
And I mean, Raven was the one to say we have to crawl on the floor like a snake, so we do that.
I mean, I kind of feel bad for him because he's like, I got this minigun, I'm excited to use it, and you just can't get a hit in.
Unfortunate. Yeah, Tyler explained his menus just earlier. He was still used to very easy. We just walk towards Raven and shoot stingers into him. But that's a lethal weapon, so for extreme and going for big boss, you want to use the blue weapons, the non-lethal ones.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tank the damage if you did it the VE way. I mean, even if you had a ration, it just wouldn't be nearly enough. And I actually don't know how many shots it would take with the stinger. I would imagine the damage is similar, but it's... you don't want to do that. So, although, just like VE and everything else, you can call Otacon early. As soon as you get into Rex's lair, you can just call him up and just say, hey, start doing the hacking thing, and then just call him a second later. Hey, are you done yet? Nope. Okay, call him again. It saves you... Well, on emulator, I thought it saves you around a second of just, idle time being interrupted by the codec. I don't know what that translates to on console. Maybe it's the same. Let's see. Blue going for the knockover method. Wow, that is ballsy. Yeah, it is very hard to do that because if you take a really loud step on that guard, he will insta-spot you. I don't go for it personally. But I assure you that guy's fine. You may have heard him scream to his death, but the funny thing about that is when these guys fall in an out-of-bounds area, it doesn't really count as a direct kill. I mean, I don't know. I mean, accidents happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, natural circumstances. Gravity is natural, so...
Yeah, but however, if you do knock them over into an area that you can access, I believe that does count as a kill, which is similar to what MGS2 would track that as a kill if versus a direct kill.
Oh, jeez. We're coming out to the big drop, though.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Dropping down. Ooh, late grab, but...
Scary. Every time. It doesn't matter which difficulty.
Yeah, I noticed Blue used a grenade earlier, which, yep, he's going to go for the SOCOM instead. You can use your last grenade to chuck it at this rat, which is always there. Unlike in the original game, which is random, unless if you do it through other means, such as, farming alerts and such. So Blue, again, he's just going to play it safe, use the SOCOM. It will get the job done, but just make sure you hit the rat with either weapon. I mean... I can see why, sometimes just the grenade is strangely inconsistent, and Tyler also going for the knockover. I love this.
Very nice. It looks so goofy at the time.
But so satisfying when it works.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Blue,
Right.
shooting at that camera, we are never leaving this room anymore because TTS, once again, backtracking improved. We have some pipes with, hot liquid and cold liquid that helps us to transform the PAL key. So unlike the original, where we spent almost like quarter of an hour, like a huge chunk of the speedrun just backtracking, and TTS is very much straightforward. As long as you don't fall to EDF.
Yeah, I mean, having that ledge there is a big convenience for this part of the run. I mean, it does feel like it's dragged out in the original when you have to cycle through the PAL keys. But thankfully, you can just drop down to this ledge here, grab it, hop back
Oh, I
over,
totally
and
did it.
then... Oh!
This looked so close.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about the rope, and I'm just going to shout out Tyler to this because he's helped me, is when it comes to grabbing that rope, you want to grab it late, which sounds terrifying. But the thing is, for some reason, if you try to grab that rope early or just spam it as you're falling, there's a set of kill frames, meaning if you press your action button on that kill frame, you're just automatically dead. You just fall to your death. It's very aggravating. I had periods of time where I would not run the game because of that.
Despite the improved backtracking, that's... Oh, well.
Well, I mean, you didn't have it in the original game, so I figured maybe they just wanted to, I don't know, throw you a curveball saying, oh, not so fast.
So, okay, here's the improvement, but also don't be too fast. It's not that easy.
I mean, maybe it's just something about, like, that's the highest point where you're falling from, and that's just the way it was set up. I detest it, but there are ways to get around it. There's even a backup maneuver where you can go down a little bit further, drop down one ledge, and then... So it'd be like a 2-drop setup instead of just a very dangerous 1-drop. Okay, so just shoot the hot pipe, drop down, answer the codec, and Miller's gonna be like, "Hey, what you doing?" Snake's like, "Oh, just hanging out." I mean, see?
There you go.
No? Okay, I'll just toss that one. Well, anyways, Blue's on his last key. Tyler getting onto his blue key, and since they are using the pipes, you cannot bypass these forced codecs that you would normally get when you're in the freight elevators doing it the original way. But still, it's miles faster and just way more convenient just being able to do this all in one room. It's kind of like a one-stop shop for the PAL key. Yeah, and Akuma does. Yeah, I was gonna say Akuma did raise a good point about like we are technically running all bosses since there really isn't like an any percent method that's close to what MGS1 can do with the out of bounds glitch.
The only thing we could do is I think trying to go beyond the door from Ocelot before we have the card, but the problem is the game also has no plan for you to be out of bounds there, so I think you just fall to your death in the void. So. There's things we could do, but they're not really useful for us to skip major parts in the game so far.
Whoa, 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 hold up. Wait.
Hold on, what?
That was really liquid? What happened to Miller? Man.
It was dead.
Man, we got played like a fiddle doing all these PAL key transitions, this rope fall, all of this stuff, just to be tricked. I don't appreciate that.
That's not nice.
But thankfully, we can just call our bro Otacon saying, "Help! Get me out of here!" And he'll just quickly open the door for you as we get into the first of 2 phases of Rex. Tyler just getting into his last codec as well.
You'd shout out to both at this point right now. They're very close to each other. Like, it looks more, but just technically none of these had made any big mistakes, so it's absolutely a treat to see both of these runners doing extreme.
Yeah, I was also going to say something else about how both their runs are going, but again, I don't want to jinx anything until the run's actually over. But nicely done, Rex won on blue screen. Just aim at the radome, trade shots, and evade the laser. And for this unskippable section of, Gray Fox's last moment and Snake saying, "Can't do it, man. Can't shoot. Can't do it."
I'm out of missiles. It's actually a voice line when it makes it sound like Snake would shoot, but he doesn't have ammo.
I don't know. Maybe during the fight he like put the safety switch on and didn't realize it, so maybe Snake was the rookie. You know, after
Maybe he
all,
was
he's
after
like,
all.
it's like, man, why can't I fire? It's like, oh, I left the safety on.
Ah, then there we go.
All right, so Blue's starting his phase 2, so it's a little bit simpler than the first one. You can just stay right where you are and just trade shots at the you know, Rex's mouth as it's already open since the ray dome's disabled. The missiles will not hit you as long as you just don't move from where you are. You will take damage from the Gatling gun turrets, which is still negligible depending on what your HP is going in, and if you have a ration left over, that would where it would be used. Alright, so as Blue is ending his Rex fight, Tyler is now starting his. And for the Liquid fight, there's really no Infinite that's similar to what we may have seen in the MGS1 PC race, but there is another tech that we may see both these guys go for, which is the Liquid lottery roll, meaning you manipulate Liquid to go to... Oh, Tyler got hit by the missiles. So you want to manipulate Liquid to go into the corner where that ray dome is, and if your roll is just right, you can actually do a lot of damage at once.
And there's the Stinger again, messing up. Oh, man.
Yeah, I gotta love that lock-on. Yeah, Blue is... Yeah, he's not getting that damage, so I think he's just gonna... Well, okay, guys.
Oh, there it is!
Hey!
Let's go. That's called the lottery roll.
Yep, so because he did the roll at just the right angle at putting Liquid in the right place, it does a huge chunk of damage at once. There is a alternate setup at the beginning, which is named after the runner that found it, which is the JM Chunk. It is a little bit slower if you're doing this on extreme, leading up to a lottery roll, but very nicely done. It is very hard to do. Alright, Tyler in his phase 2 for Rex, and as you can see, he's got the ration equipped since itself is running quite low from the damage he took during the first phase. Meanwhile, Otacon's like, uh-oh, a surveillance camera.
I love that voice line delivery.
I mean, it's like, well,
there you go.
It's like, you might as well. I mean, we're just, you know, we're at the end of the game.
Both still on big boss pace, so that's very nice.
That's what I was trying not to say until the race was actually over, but...
No. I don't have commentator's curse. I know my stuff.
Yeah,
maybe
well,
because
I mean,
I am actually a rookie.
Yeah, well, I mean, to Blue's point, I mean, you still can risk losing it when you're in this escape section. I hope it doesn't happen, but it's... You know, but up to this point, yes, both of these guys have kept Big Boss up to this, you know, part of the run. It's really hard to do, and I definitely admire both of them for going for it. And yes, Tyler going for the jam chunk, and he got his precious dog tag.
Not hitting yet so far.
Yeah, so for Big Boss, you just go for the barrels. It'll kill the guards without you know, being held responsible for killing them. I mean, who knows? The barrels just blew up by themselves. Okay, so Tyler's just gonna abandon and just go for the... You know, it is sort of an infinite where you just deal as much damage as you can and then just, you know, trade punches up until when his health and stamina get low, up until where it's either between the I and D and his name Liquid. And then just trade 1-2 until his health is low enough for a punch kick. Okay, Blue, I think, yep, he's on his Liquid portion of the escape section. Just keep on hitting him, and oh, really nicely done on those headlights.
Very nice.
I don't know, man, those headlights really trigger me in this game more than the original for some reason. Like, it's just the glaring thing, I just can't stand it.
Yeah, a little bit annoying.
Let's see, oh, okay, yeah, Ty, I think, was trying to lean up against that wall. It's another way of just buying yourself time while this guard is trying very, very hard to, you know, to hit you, but he can't.
They're trying so well. I guess they didn't get paid this month.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he skipped out on his target practice training session.
Hmm.
I don't know.
They didn't do their VR training.
I got nothing. Alright, so Tyler is starting his escape. Blue just about to finish up his in just a little bit. Let's see, I believe they're gonna try to go for the RTA finish, so I think time's gonna come up once they get the like white flash. So blues is gonna be coming up probably like right after this hit right here, and that's time for blue.
Got it. GG.
Yeah, I imagine we'll go to score screen since we're the last race anyhow.
We
But
have
yeah,
time, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really eager to see if I think both of these guys kept and helped Big Boss all the way through, which is again very hard to do in this game. Ooh, that explosion lag, gotta love it.
Mm.
And for not Big Boss, oh man, Akuma.
Fortunately, we cannot fast forward here on emulator. We can because the IGT actually really stops at that point, so the credits don't change it anymore. Here on actual console, we just have to wait it out, but it's fine. We have time. We will have the runners here for a little chat afterwards, and then see and hear, especially what they think.
Yeah, so Tyler just getting done. Yeah, he's getting into his escape section here, just creating hits, liquid as he's bumping into the back of the other Jeep. And yes, there is no fast forward on this one, so it's, you know, I guess you do just get spoiled by the emulator's ability to do things like that, and then you go to this and it just feels dreadfully slow, waiting for the credits. Okay, now the side-by-side. Yeah, sometimes Liquid will always get that first hit on you when you're, like, side-by-side like this. It's not really RNG, it's just, I don't know, annoying thing you just gotta put up with sometimes. Okay, he's got another 3 to 4 hits here before time for Tyler. Okay, he's got one more. And that is time for Tyler.
GG's.
And I'm pretty sure both these guys had Big Boss and kept it all the way through, which is really impressive.
Absolutely, love to see that.
Let's see if we can. Oh, I think we got Blue in here already.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, GG's, dude.
GG's. That run was a complete mess and really jank, but kept Big Boss all the way, so can't complain too much.
Yeah, I mean, you had really favorable RNG for Sniper 1 and Sniper 2, primarily. But yeah, that ladder roll was something else, though.
It sadly was fourth try, but hey, you know what? Getting it at all is good. It's always a good thing.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Tyler to join. Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
GG's,
that
Tyler.
MPA jam, right?
GG's, yep.
GG's.
Double Big Boss. Can't think of a better way than to end the day today with double Big Boss. At least it seems like you got Big Boss, right?
Yeah.
Yep, same
Sort
here.
of.
It's one of the easier big bosses to get, but it's hard to do optimally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was surprised because I got the YOLO holdup, and I also messed up a little bit on my positioning on Rex, and I got hit by the missiles, so I had to like quickly grab some more ammo because I didn't grab any extra ammo pack because I was like, I'll probably be fine. And then I looked, oh, I only have 19 stingers and you need 18 minimum. So I'm just like, okay, this is kind of weird.
Big Monka.
I made it out though.
Yeah, and I think it was the other thing that was really impressive was both of you guys went and got the hard prison roll. You know, I don't know if Blue is maybe thinking about doing the YOLO roll.
I don't think he'd ever really do that
No.
unless it's like Alien probably because he'd just do that no matter what. So he knows that I
I'm
would
only
do
gonna
that.
do it. I'm only gonna do it if I make an agreement with Alien. Otherwise, I never go for it. I practiced
Yeah.
it enough to get it in my normal mode record. I did used to do it, but now that we have Bunk, I have no reason to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And at
I
that point, I
guess
was doing costs, so I didn't have no reason to even practice it back then anyway. So
yeah. Plus, maybe to avoid another controversy after the last time, it was like I went for it and missed. What do I do?
Yeah, I was so mentally checked out at that point, and I was like half asleep and everything. I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm doing, dude. Why am I here? But we don't talk about that.
But yeah, I can imagine just from watching both your guys' runs and looking at the leaderboards earlier, but I don't think either one of this was PB pace for you guys, was it?
I was running split, so I don't know, because I was just coming in here thinking like I wasn't going to be performing too well, because I didn't have a whole lot of, well, I like didn't put as much time as I probably should have into practicing, and I haven't like, really ran this category seriously in like a good year and a half, so I wasn't really. I was kind of doing this like nonchalant, like I'm just gonna like run and like see what happens. So I wasn't expecting anything, but I wasn't expecting to get big boss. To be honest, I was expecting to screw up somewhere earlier, or at the YOLO holdup because Blue hates the YOLO holdup
Yeah.
in the Rex's lair.
Yeah,
For me, it's
I
a
was
ways
just,
off of PB.
yeah, I was jaw dropping when both you guys did that. I was like, man, they're just going all in. I hate that YOLO hold
I
up.
thought Blue did the walk up, didn't he? I think he did the
Yeah,
walk up.
I walk up to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wall Guy.
Yep. I just run straight at him, but as soon as I like started like remember, oh yeah, it's actually a lot later of a hold up than you think. Then it just clicked with me, and I tried it like 4 times in a row in like practice, and I got it all 4 times. So I'm bad at a lot of parts of the run, but for whatever reason, I'm consistent at that YOLO hold up for no reason. But I'll take what I can get, I guess.
After I lost a good big boss run to that, like about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I'm just like, I am never doing this ever again. I don't care if I get consistent at it again. I'm never doing it again. I'm doing the walk version. Screw this, man. Just traumatized, man. Just like that time I lost big boss on my 57. Traumatized. They were
Oh,
doing that shit
jeez.
again.
One
That
thing
must have.
though is I had a really fast disc change. I had like a dolphin level disc change because I was just like, you know what? Let me just try this out, and I like quickly swapped, and it gave me like no text at the bottom, so I at least got a little bit of time save due to that fast disc swap.
Man.
Trying to be very careful though.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of careful thought put into those disc swaps. I mean, don't bat an eye at it when it's on console, especially.
Yeah. Quick question: Did the timer on the stream start at the right moment? Was it late by chance?
It should have started just when the countdown went to go. So
Okay, because
roughly.
I'm just trying to think about what time this might be. This might still be a 57.
That's exactly why we're here. We want to see what's coming around.
Yeah. Also, to make sure that neither one of us cursed the run for saying it was double big boss. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was. There were a couple of points where I maybe could have used a ration because I got into bleeding at the tower climb as well because I got hit a lot because I just climbed poorly and I went into it with like 1 HP. And then at Rex, because I got hit, I equipped the ration, of course, but I don't think I used the ration at all. Maybe I did
Yeah,
it's like
same.
phase 2, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I
I
think
got
you
hit
were
by
close
Raven,
on.
but I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
have
I
to use it,
saw that.
thankfully.
Yeah, I think you were close on Tower A for using the ration, and I didn't quite catch it in Rex 2 if it actually used it or not.
Mhm.
Well, one guy's saying 5734 for blue.
That'd be a
Okay,
decent run.
I'll take a mid 57. I thought it was gonna be closer to a 58, but
My
well,
PB is
there
a
it is.
59-15 to beat for IGT.
Dude, he was so close. Wow, I'm actually
Hey,
impressed.
Wow.
57:35.
Dude.
GG.
Alright, wall guy, tell me if I get a PB or not, since you're so good at this.
Man, Wall Guy just has that insight. Or he just somehow hacked into BlueMetal's GameCube and just knew exactly what time it was going to be.
No? Okay, according to wall guy, I got fucked. Dang.
Oh.
Womp womp.
No PP for you. Oh,
I don't
man.
deserve a
Man,
PB anyway, it's okay.
I don't know. I mean, you guys both got Big Boss. I mean, that's got to be something.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Especially as the audience has gotten a great race day today. We've been actively trying to go for partner here for the community channel, and after almost 7 hours of being part of this event, I have to say I'm so thankful for everyone who basically instantly came together when we said like, hey, we need another event, and just said we have like a week time to prepare everything. It was awesome. Thank you so much for running, of course, both Tyler and Blue, and Joe also for commentating for us today here. If you wonder when the next event will happen, well, we have that 20th anniversary event happening in 2 weeks for Metal Gear Solid 2, where we will feature all those games that turned 20 this year. Definitely be excited for that. This will be actually a multi-day event, as far as we can tell. We have not found all the schedule links, but we will put them together ASAP. And then, of course, stay tuned and follow us here on Twitch to see when we will be live and feature all these awesome runs. Not just Metal Gear, but also way, way more. So it's going to be an awesome weekend as well.
Did Tyler's feed freeze? Oh, never mind. I'm just behind.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I just saw just like the game title screen, but no subtitles. Like, what's going on?
Oh,
And there we go.
28.
14 behind PB.
Dang.
Still sub-hour.
Wow, both sub-hour, both big boss. Man, let's go.
Yeah, boy.
Very nice. GG. All right. Any last words from all of you?
Well, I think you said it best, House, but just thanks for all you guys for putting this event on in short notice, and thanks for having me here.
Yeah. Just cross your fingers, hoping that MGSR gets partner. Possible that may get rejected once, but it doesn't mean ain't gonna happen in the future. Still possible. I'm hoping.
Exactly.
Please find any percent for this game, please.
Especially Heinz-Skip.
Well, that too, yeah. But any percent would be pretty cool.
Indeed. All right, folks, then I'm going to send you all home, but we're going to rate also our good friend and MGSR staff partner, Nick Aubrey Green, who's preparing for his own charity marathon next weekend. You maybe want to check him out, give him a follow as well, and be nice in chat. Sending over to him. Currently, he's doing Metal Gear Solid speedruns, so it goes directly into the next event. Have a nice evening, and talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.